Hey guys, Dan Watson, Learning Cameras, and I'm here with Eric Loveland, and we're taking a look at the new Microsoft Surface. And so I'm going to give it up to him and kind of have him show you some of the new stuff, and we'll do a little hands-on with this in a little bit.
Cool. So, thanks, Dan. Yeah, so Dan wanted me to introduce you guys to the new Surface Book 2. So this is the latest version of the Surface Book from Microsoft. So we've always had a 13-inch version, and now we also have a 15-inch version. So we have a new size for people, but we've also introduced a ton more power to this. So this is the most powerful Surface we've ever built. It's 4 times faster than the original Surface Book. So we've packed a ton of processing power in here. There's 8th gen processors from Intel in the top, and then in the base you can get a 2 GB or a 6 GB dedicated graphics card. So it really has the ability to kind of breeze through any task, creative or otherwise. And so we've had a lot of really great reception from people about the Surface Book. It comes with the same versatility that we had in the original version. So the tablet portion, the screen pops off, so it's a big beautiful display, but you can take it off and use the pen to do shading and masking and reattach it and do a ton of creative work. So this is our latest version, super powerful. We're really excited to bring it to the market.
All right, so one of the things, I've been actually using the Surface 13-inch, the first version, for quite a while. When the 15-inch came up, the first thing I said to myself is, man, this is going to be a huge screen when you pull this thing off.
Yeah.
I was blown away at how light it was.
Yeah.
So talk about some of the material choices that are going into this. How are we able to get this 15-inch screen that when you pop that thing up, weighs almost nothing?
Yeah, I think it starts with the actual exterior casing, which is a magnesium alloy. It's the same magnesium that we've used in a lot of the Surface products, so throughout the history. It's just a really light material, but it's also really durable. So it's hard to dent, it's gonna last, for a long time. So these devices are built to last. But part of the other thing that we've done is that we have battery in the screen. So both screens have battery. You get up to 5 hours of battery life in just the screen, 17 hours in the full device. And so when you detach it, you're getting a bit of battery. We've also worked on power management, so we don't have to put as much battery in there because it will last longer. And then the processor and the cooling, we've just really kind of optimized for the copper thermal cooling in there, so that way you don't have to put a bunch of extra things in there. The fan's really small and light. So all of those things kind of come in. So even on the 13-inch, it gets fully redesigned. So it's not an update. You don't just pull out a processor and put a new one in. It gets redesigned so that way you can keep it thin and light while making it even more powerful.
And we have a dedicated graphics card in a 13-inch laptop, which is almost unheard of.
Yep, yeah. And for people who may not want that but love the form factor of the Surface Book and the way you can detach, there is one model that just has integrated graphics. So the entry-level model just has integrated graphics on the 13-inch.
Okay, great. So on the Hinge side of things, that was kind of the signature, is being able to have this heavy display because all of your processing and everything else is built into the display. You've redesigned this hinge, and I hear that you'll be using some ceramics and other materials like that to make things a little bit better. So, has the hinge improved at all?
It has. It's I think for me it feels smoother. So when you're opening it, and we kept that iconic design because you're right. The lid or the top of the Surface Book 2 is heavier than a normal laptop, certainly than the Surface laptop, and so you do need that extra footprint and real estate that you get when you open that dynamic fulcrum hinge. And so it is smoother. I think it's a little bit more durable, and we've redesigned the way the tablet attaches too. So we've made that a bit more durable and smooth, so it's easier to detach now.
Very nice. And it's one touch, right? So now I just press this once.
Yeah.
And it comes right off. Yeah. So yeah, if you're used to the first generation one, it's actually a lot better, much more improved. Attaches and detaches a little bit quicker, so that's very nice to see. So let's talk about anything else that you've got. Actually, there's Photoshop integration now with this, right? So let's talk about that a little bit.
So I can actually see if I can open it. So Adobe's actually done some great work to integrate Dial. So Dial came out with Surface Studio last year, and it's a great way to kind of get access to a variety of tools that you can have at your fingertips. So when you're actually working on stuff, you can press and hold the dial, and it'll bring up a radial menu of tools. And so for Adobe, they've integrated a ton of brush tools, so you can control opacity, the size of your brush, the smoothing, the flow, and the hardness. And so all of the things you would normally get when you're illustrating in Photoshop or you're masking, you have all of those tools right at your fingertips. Yeah, so when you're in here, like I mentioned, you can see that there are a bunch of settings already that come with Windows. So brightness, you can do undo redo, which will take you through your history panel in Photoshop, which I think is really a nice feature. And then the brush will bring up a set of tools. So you see smoothing, flow, opacity, and size. And so if I had this detached as a tablet, or if I just want access to those, I don't have to take my pen away from what I'm doing. I could, to come up here and grab those controls, I can do it right where I am on the canvas, which I think is really great. And I imagine Adobe will probably continue to bring additional features to that, but people have really loved that as they play with it this week, and that just came out earlier this week.
So that's kind of our first introduction to the new Surface Book 2s, 13-inch, 15-inch versions. You guys should check this out. If you are a creator, it is a really, really awesome tool with using the pen as well as the dial, and there's some really unique functionality built into there. So a whole lot more to come. Thanks for watching.